let's talk some New York City news that has, national implications, as a lot of New York City news often does. So this is from The Gothamist. Police will start checking New York City bus travelers' luggage for guns. This is Matt Cast. This is back Valentine's Day. Let's see what Matt's got to say. The Port Authority police conducting routine bag checks on commuters. They will soon begin checking luggage on buses arriving from out of state. Just, Port Authority sucks if you've ever been in there. Police will begin random luggage checks on interstate coach buses coming into the Port Authority in an effort to stop an increasing number of guns coming across state lines. The effort by the Port Authority police comes after Mayor Eric Adams suggested the idea in his blueprint to end gun violence last month. The searches will be conducted in conjunction with a new interstate task force on illegal guns convened by New York State Governor Kathy Hochul last month, an agency spokesperson told Gothamist. The approach raises legal and civil liberties concerns, given the racist history of stop and frisk policing and criminologists. Whoa. Had trouble with that one, guys. They aren't sure that it will be effective, but researchers say at least some guns are transported in small quantities via buses, and the searches could act as a deterrent to traffickers. Here, incoming bullshit quote. The Port Authority Police Department is committing to keeping the region safe by working with the NYPD and other law enforcement entities, including the respective task forces that have been established at the state and city level to combat illegal gun trafficking into New York City. Port Authority spokesperson Amber Green wrote in an email to Gothamist. She did not say when the checks would begin. I mean, let's not even get into the Second Amendment. Let's forget about your right to bear arms here, because that's a whole other conversation we could have. And in New York City, it's a losing conversation. Oh, kicking the camera here. But let's talk about the Fourth Amendment here. The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. You can't be harassed by the government. They can't just take your crap. They can't just look through all your stuff without a real reason and some evidence to support that reason. Okay? That's the Fourth Amendment in a gist. This is from Swindle Law Group. What a name, huh? But I like what he wrote here. And this represents my thoughts exactly on it, because these illegal stop and frisk, search and seizure, illegal checkpoints, a lot of the stuff that we're very used to these days are some of the fundamental foundational reasons of why an America even exists. But let's read. During, and I shouldn't say an America, I should say United States. But let me read. During the colonial era, the King of England looked at the American colonies as simply a financial investment. I wonder what the owners of this country look to us lowly plebs as these days. Britain passed numerous revenue collection bills aimed at generating as much money from the colonists as possible. Obviously, the colonists resented this act by the king and began smuggling operations in order to circumvent the custom taxes imposed by the British Crown. In response, King George began the use of the conveniently worded writs of assistance. These were legal search warrants that were extremely broad and general in scope. Does Does that sound like modern federal policing to you? Does that sound like modern local policing to you? Does that sound like a post 9/11 reality in America to you? Extremely general in scope search warrants. Anyway, British agents could obtain a writ of assistance to search any property they believed might contain contraband goods. They could actually enter someone's property or home with no notice and without any reason. This is okay. Let me just go. Agents could interrogate anyone about their use of custom goods and force cooperation of any person. These types of searches and seizures became an egregious affront to the people of the colonies. These actions by the British Crown would be one of the precipitating factors leading to the American Revolution and the eventual forming of our Constitution. So, in New York City, a democratic state, democratic city, a democratic powerhouse nationally, we're living in conditions that are representable to imperialist English conditions and terms placed upon their American colonists. We are in a place where the Fourth Amendment is violated to such a factor that it's as if it almost doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know what to add to that. The United States government is currently doing the things that made the original founders of that government rebel from England, revolt from England in the first place.